Hello, I'm Hannah, a physiotherapist and clinical Pilates and yoga instructor. I'm here today to talk you through a quick flow with a focus on spinal mobility. Hopefully you are here because your physiotherapist has recommended these exercises are suitable for you. Remember to take your time, know that you can pause the video whenever you need to, and do modify the exercises to suit you as an individual. We're going to start off in seated today. So find a comfortable seat, either on the floor, on a cushion like I'm demonstrating today, or you might even like to start by sitting on a chair. You may like to have some props available to you, like I've got some books here to support me through the flow, and I'll show you how you can use those. Okay, let's get started. Starting by rolling the shoulders, rolling them up and back and down. See if you can make bigger circles with each movement. And then settling the shoulders back and down and in. You're reaching the hands up as you inhale and exhale down. Really lengthen up towards the ceiling. See how tall that you can grow, reaching up. And then back down, clasping the hands behind your back. And then sending your left ear down towards your left shoulder, feeling the stretch down the opposite side, and then across to the right, back through the middle. We'll go again towards each side, through the middle. We'll do one more to each side, and we're going to hold it this time, so across, hold it there for a few breaths. See if you can soften with each. Exhale, soften. Lovely. Back through the middle and across to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, soften. A few breaths there. And back through the middle. Unclasping the hands. And then reaching up the right hand. And over towards that left side. Really reach those fingertips up towards the opposite corner of the room. Back through the middle, left hand reaches up and across towards the other side. Reach those fingertips to the corner of the room and back down. Keep the seat grounded, so try not to lift the bottom up from the floor. Really keep rooted down to lift up. Lovely, lengthening through the body and feel that stretch through the side. Lovely, last one to the other side. Reaching up, really reach those fingertips and back down. And then coming into some rotation here, so turning the shoulders to the side, back through the middle and across to the other side. And just starting to move the hands around to support you. So you might like to bring the fingertips onto the knee, just to see if you can help to pull around that a little bit further. Think about lengthening as you inhale. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling like a helium balloon. Exhale, see if you can soften into that rotation that little bit more. Lovely, coming back through to the middle. And then walking the hands forwards this time. Folding forwards, letting the head drop down. Keep reaching, 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 walking those fingertips as far forward as you feel you can. Keep the seat grounded again. Lovely, and then walking the hands back up to the middle. You're going to come forwards again, reaching, walking the fingertips forwards, and you're coming into 4-point kneeling this time. So I'm going to turn to the side, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And just starting here by tucking underneath, rounding towards the ceiling, and then tilting the pelvis forwards, arching and head lifts last. And flowing between those two movements, just exploring the range of movement that's available to you today. And just starting to build into that, so see if you can ease into a bit more movement in each direction. Lovely. Keep it flowing, keep it dynamic. And then coming to find the middle there. And now reaching the fingertips through the opposite arm, dropping your shoulder down towards the mat, and then coming back towards the middle, across to the other side. So this is your thread the needle, reaching the fingertips through, back to the middle. Take your time, finding that twist through the spine. And just going as far as you feel comfortable. Again, maybe finding a little bit more space with each repetition. And we'll do one more to each side. Really reach those fingertips through. Last one. And then coming back to the middle. Softening the forearms down to the mat, bringing your belly slowly down onto the mat as well. And then seeing if you can soften into this lovely extension through the back. Really push through with the palms of the hands, reaching that crown up towards the ceiling, rooting down through the toes, so keep the toes nice and grounded, and really think about lengthening through from the tips of the toes right to the crown of the head. If that's enough for you, then staying there, or seeing if you could push your arms up into a bit more extension there, really to straighten up through the arms and find a bit more movement through the back. Softening down. And then finding yourself back into 4-point kneeling. And then taking that movement into the opposite direction this time. And just bouncing forwards and backwards here a little bit. Softening into our child's pose. So bringing the hips towards the feet. And just going as far as feels comfortable for you. So that might be here. It might be here, or you might have the space available in the hips to come all the way back, bringing the seat down towards the feet. Then softening the head down, let the head relax, either keeping the hands out in front of you, or you might like the hands by the feet, or you might like to bring your forehead onto the hands in front of you there, and just take a few breaths there to soften into this position. If you've got your hands out in front of you, maybe walking the hands over to one side. Feel the length down the side of the spine again. And then across towards the other body, feeling that stretch down the opposite side of the body. And then coming back to the middle. Palms nice and rooted down. And then coming back onto hands and knees, tucking the toes this time, and then pushing up into a down dog. And just starting to pedal the feet here a little bit. Keep the knees nice and soft, keep them bent, and then maybe you start to lengthen out through the legs a little bit, seeing if you can start to straighten them up a bit more, heels pressing down towards the mat. Then bending the knees deeply, gaze between the hands, and stepping forwards with your left leg. Try and bring the foot between the hands. You might need to give it a little bit of support into that position. Untucking the back toes as you lower the knee down. And this is where you might need your support here. So bringing the books either side of you to support into this position. Okay? And then bringing the hands up onto the knee here. Finding a little bit of a tuck underneath the pelvis, you should start to feel a bit of a stretch through the front thigh there. And then tipping the hips back this time to find a stretch at the back of the thigh on the opposite leg. And then flowing between those two movements. So seeing if you can start to ease into those stretches. Keep it dynamic to begin with, flowing through, using your props to support you as you need. And then seeing if you can soften down there, holding it into your hamstring stretch. With each exhalation, see if you can soften, lengthen down. Keep the back nice and long, hinging forwards from the hips. Soft behind the knee. You should be feeling that stretch along the back of the thigh into the back of the knee. Don't worry if your leg is not completely straight, just working towards that. And then coming forwards, bring the hands up onto the thigh to lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Tucking underneath with the pelvis, and then if you've got space available, you can take the lunge further forwards that little bit more to give you that stretch through the front of the thigh. Lovely. And then bringing the hands back down towards the mat and stepping forwards with the other leg this time, walking the hands up, tucking underneath there, finding a stretch across the front thigh on the other side. And then pushing the hips back, hands come down to support you, find the stretch along the back of the hamstring there, the back of the thigh on the other side. And then flowing between those two movements, just starting to find that little bit of extra space. Always making sure you're just feeling that stretch. It doesn't have to be forced into pain. You're just acknowledging that stretching feeling. And then walking the hands up, tucking underneath, hold it there for that little bit of an extra stretch. Lovely. And then sending the hips back, hold that hamstring stretch. Lovely. And then bringing the hands back down to support you again, just popping the books to one side. Tucking the toes underneath and pushing back into your downwards dog just to have another little pedal of the feet here. And then stepping forwards with your left foot again in between the hands. We're going to rise up into standing now, cartwheel the hands open, toes facing towards the front of the mat. Back foot is on a 45-degree angle there, really ground down through the heel. And then straightening up that front leg and then bending deeply, straightening up, bend deeply. See how far you can bend that knee, keeping it tracking over the front of the toes. And then see if you can hold it there as we flow the arms back and forth just a few times to find that length through the side of the body here. Lovely. Last one, fingertips really reach forwards, lengthen from the fingertips down towards the back heel, through the middle, pushing up straight, turning the toes forwards and then turning towards the other side, so the other foot is pointing towards the short end of the mat, bending deeply and then straightening up, bending deeply, keep that back foot nice and grounded, so keep that heel down, bending deeply, knee tracks over the front of the toes, and then softening here, holding it as we flow the arms back and forwards, finding that length through the side of the body again, really reaching the fingertips forwards, up towards the corner of the room, lengthen from the fingertips down towards the heel, back to the middle, straighten that front leg up, turn the toes forwards, coming into a wide-legged position. Hands on the hips, soft at the knees, and then tipping forwards here. And coming forwards into forwards fold. You can bring the hands onto the thighs, onto the mat, or maybe you like to bring them onto a book in front of you there. And then just softening down, let the head drop. Find that stretch along the back of the thighs. And then slowly walk yourself back up, either rolling up or pushing your hands up along the thighs there to help you back up. And then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, coming back towards standing. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale down. Lovely. So just closing the sequence off now. Really lengthen up and soften the arms down. Last deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. And relax. Well done.